Okay, picture this. You just nailed it. That massive project at work. Launched, totally successful. Or maybe it's, a personal goal you've been grinding towards for ages, and bam, you finally break through. What's the very first thought that hits you? If you're anything like me, it's probably, okay, what's next? Or maybe even that little nagging voice. Could I have done more? We're so wired to just hustle right on to the next thing. We often just sprint right past the finish line we just crossed. But what if really pausing to acknowledge and genuinely celebrate those moments, even the tiny ones, isn't just a quick feel-good fix? What if it's actually the secret sauce, a core ingredient, not just for feeling good now, but for actually fueling your future success, your motivation down the line, and honestly, just your overall well-being? So this deep dive is all about unpacking that, the real transformative power of celebrating your wins. We've looked at a whole bunch of stuff, from personal psychology, like how our brains work, to what's happening in workplace culture. We want to figure out why this is way more than just patting yourself on the back. Why it's a powerful tool for, sustained success. Let's dive in.
It really is fascinating, isn't it? How something that feels so simple, just a moment of joy, is actually wired deep into our biology. You might think celebrating is just, a nice extra, but psychologically, neurologically, it's fundamental. When you celebrate, your brain releases dopamine. Now, dopamine isn't just the feel-good chemical. Research shows it's critical for how your brain adapts and learns, basically by reinforcing those positive outcomes.
Okay, so it's like tagging the good stuff.
Exactly. Your brain is actively tagging those successful behaviors as valuable. It makes it easier to remember and repeat them next time you're in a similar spot. Think of it like building internal superhighways for those successful actions. They become the default route.
Wow, so it's not just feeling happy for a second, it's actually training our brains to be more successful. That really changes how you think about it. But if it's so important for learning and feeling good, why do so many of us just jump to what's next? Is there something, in modern life working against this?
That's a really sharp question. And yeah, you've hit on a key challenge. Our minds have this natural lean towards negativity. That's an old survival thing, right? Always standing for danger. But celebrating wins, that actively pushes back. It helps create those happy paths in the brain. It's also a direct hit against imposter syndrome, which so many people struggle with.
Right, that feeling like you don't deserve your success.
Precisely. By consciously saying, hey, I did that and it was good, you're reminding yourself of your actual abilities, your effort. It helps quiet that inner critic. And zooming out, this whole practice, it seriously reduces stress. It helps you build a growth mindset. So instead of getting stuck on unattainable perfection,
which can be totally paralyzing.
Totally. You shift your focus to just getting better step by step. Reflecting on what you have accomplished builds self-worth and resilience, that ability to bounce back when things get tough. It's like a deliberate mental hygiene.
Mental hygiene. I like that. It really drives home that celebrating isn't just fluffy stuff. It's strategic for your brain, for your well-being. Okay, but let's be real. Not every win is landing the dream job or winning the championship, right? Sometimes it's just getting through a brutal Monday.
Yeah.
Or finally dealing with that one email that's been mocking you from your inbox.
Yeah.
How important is it to celebrate those, the little things?
Oh, absolutely crucial. And that's a really important distinction you're making. We often fall into this trap of thinking only the huge achievements count. I'll celebrate when I get the promotion or when I finish this marathon project. But celebrating finishing a tough assignment, or showing kindness when you didn't have to, or just like you said, showing up on a day you really wanted to hide, that's just as important, maybe even more so sometimes.
Really? More so?
Well, think about it. Every single milestone, no matter how small it seems, adds up. It contributes to your overall growth, your forward motion.
So, like a little high five for progress actually makes a difference in the long run.
Absolutely. Each small win builds momentum. It's like a positive feedback loop. Celebrating the small stuff fuels your motivation for the bigger goals because they start to feel less daunting, more achievable. You're building psychological confidence piece by piece.
That makes sense.
James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, he talks about the physics of productivity, how motivation often comes after you start, not before. The biggest hurdle is just beginning.
Right, getting over that initial hump.
Exactly. So small wins prove that idea. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Once you start, it's easier to keep going. So just showing up, even if it's not perfect, that's a win. If you've been avoiding the gym, just putting on your workout clothes, that counts. Celebrate that first step.
That's super practical. Just get the ball rolling and let momentum help out. Okay, so for everyone listening, how can they actually start weaving this into their lives, like right now? What are some concrete steps?
Yeah, definitely. There are lots of tangible ways. One really effective method is achievement journaling. Get a notebook or use a digital tool, whatever works for you, and just track your daily or weekly wins. You could use prompts like, what's one thing I did today I'm proud of? Or how did I handle a challenge? Or what did I learn this week?
And actually writing it down makes a difference.
It seems to, yeah. Some research suggests the physical act of writing can help embed those memories more deeply. It makes the wins feel more real, more solid when you look back later. It's not just a fleeting thought.
I can see that. It forces you to look for the good and really internalize it.
Exactly. And beyond the daily stuff, reflective practices are also really powerful. Maybe set aside time, monthly, or even annually, just to review your progress. You could make a vision board of accomplishments, write a letter to your future self about what you've achieved, or even just talk it through with someone you trust, a mentor, a friend. Saying it out loud makes it more concrete.
What about, treating yourself? We all like a treat.
For sure. Creative celebrations and self-care are definitely part of it, but the key is intention. Treat yourself to something you enjoy, a movie, a day outdoors. Or maybe reward your effort with something specific, that nice meal, a book you wanted, maybe a massage. And don't underestimate taking real breaks. Restorative breaks, that's a celebration too. It acknowledges the effort and gets you ready for what's next.
So it's not just random indulgence, it's tied to the effort.
Right. You could even create personal triumph traditions, little rituals just for you. Maybe a symbolic toast, or lighting a candle and just reflecting for a minute, or writing down the accomplishment on a piece of paper, something that marks the moment.
So it becomes a conscious practice, a ritual, not just waiting for the big one that might only happen once a year.
Precisely. Another idea, build a memory box. A physical box with certificates, photos, little notes, something tangible you can pull out when you're facing a tough time to remind yourself, hey, I've done hard things before.
I love that tangible aspect.
And for people who like structure, you could try gamifying self-improvement, kind of like investing in your goals and earning small rewards along the way. Think about college credits. They break down a huge goal into smaller, measurable steps. Makes progress visible, more exciting.
Okay, interesting.
And finally, to really make this stick, it's about building systems and rituals. Pros don't just wait for inspiration, they have schedules. Create pre-game routines that are so easy you don't even have to think about them. Like the famous dancer Twyla Tharp. Her ritual wasn't the workout, it was just hailing the cab to go to the gym. That was the non-negotiable first step.
So make the start effortless.
Exactly. Consistent physical movement often leads to mental engagement. Make the starting point so easy you can't not do it.
That's brilliant. Takes the pressure off feeling motivated. And puts it on just doing that tiny first step. Okay, so we've covered a lot about individual strategies, super helpful. But what happens when we scale this up? Like when a whole team or even a whole company starts really embracing celebrating wins?
Oh, the ripple effect there is huge. And the data is pretty compelling. In the workplace, fostering this culture of appreciation, it directly links to a higher performing workforce. Think about this. Companies with strong recognition programs often see employee engagement jump significantly, which is critical right now, with engagement generally being kind of low.
Yeah, you hear about that a lot.
Right. And it boosts productivity, improves retention. Some reports say recognized employees are 5 times less likely to leave, and it actually reduces stress and absenteeism. Beyond the numbers, though, it just boosts morale, builds stronger teams, encourages creativity. It really shifts a company from being just a place to work to a place to grow. People feel valued for more than just their output.
So it's way more than just a nice-to-have perk. It's actually a smart business strategy, especially now with things like the Great Resignation and quiet quitting in the conversation.
Exactly right. People are looking for purpose, for meaning, not just a paycheck. A culture where people feel genuinely seen and celebrated for their efforts, big or small, that builds loyalty. It inspires people to go the extra mile.
So how do organizations actually do that well?
Well, it's not just top-down praise. Key things include celebrating milestones like work anniversaries or finishing big projects, but making them genuinely meaningful, not just a formality. Offering thoughtful rewards, things that are value-based, given often, and maybe even customized. And really importantly, enabling peer-to-peer recognition.
So colleagues recognizing each other.
Yes, empowering people to appreciate their teammates. That fosters such positive environments, reduces conflict. Appreciation feels more more organic when it comes from all directions.
Yeah, I could see how that would feel really authentic.
It really does. Also, soliciting feedback. Truly listening to employees and acting on their input, that's a huge form of appreciation. It gives everyone a voice. Social recognition can be powerful too, sharing achievements on company channels, with permission, of course, makes people feel valued publicly and signals a great culture.
Okay.
Even celebrating personal events, birthdays, weddings, new homes that builds team cohesion shows you care about the whole person, not just the employee.
So it goes beyond just work tasks. It's about acknowledging the whole person.
Exactly. And finally, encouraging out-of-the-box thinking. Creating a psychologically safe space where it's okay to try things, even make mistakes, where new ideas are valued. That builds confidence and better thinking across the board.
Makes sense. Are there pitfalls to watch out for, though?
Oh, definitely. Recognition has to be genuine. Avoid favoritism at all costs. Timing matters. Don't try to celebrate right after delivering bad news. Don't overlook contributions from junior folks. It needs to be inclusive, specific, timely, frequent, intentional, and sometimes public, but always tailored to what makes that individual comfortable. And remember, sharing positive emotions, joy, gratitude builds strong connections. Simple things like gratitude practices, compliment relays, sharing the spotlight, they all contribute.
That's a really solid roadmap for individuals and for organizations. But let's be honest, motivation waxes and wanes, right? We all hit slumps.
Right.
How do we keep this celebration thing going for the long haul after the initial excitement wears off?
Yeah, great point. And this connects back to sustained motivation. There's this idea called the Goldilocks rule. Basically, peak motivation happens when a task is just right. Not too hard that you get discouraged, not too easy that you get bored.
Like the porridge.
Exactly like the porridge. Think about playing tennis. If you play a total beginner, it's boring. If you play a pro, you'll likely get crushed and give up. But playing someone roughly at your level, where you could win, but you have to really try, that's super motivating.
Right, that sweet spot of challenge.
That's the sweet spot. You need to adjust tasks so they're right on that edge between success and failure. That's where you find engagement.
That makes so much intuitive sense.
And hitting that optimal difficulty often leads to flow states.
Yeah.
You know, when you're totally absorbed, time flies, distractions disappear. That's peak motivation. Getting immediate feedback on how you're doing is key to getting into flow.
Okay, so aim for that just right challenge. But what about when motivation just evaporates anyway, despite our best efforts?
Right, because it will sometimes. First, remember, your mind is like a suggestion engine. Every thought, I'm tired, I should quit, this is too hard, it's just a suggestion, not an order.
Huh. A suggestion engine.
Yeah. You get to choose which suggestions you follow. You can acknowledge the I'm tired suggestion and then choose to follow the one that says, but you'll feel great when this is done. You can literally say, thanks for the input, brain, but not right now.
I love that framing. Thoughts as suggestions, not commands. Gives you back some power.
It really does. Second, remember that discomfort is temporary. That initial drag of starting something. It usually fades pretty quickly once you're doing it. And honestly, life is pretty comfortable now compared to most of human history. Keep perspective. And maybe most importantly, you will never regret good work once it's done. We rarely look back and wish we hadn't put in the effort. Sometimes just showing up, even if it's messy, is the win. Celebrate that.
Showing up is a victory.
It absolutely is. And finally, just accept that this is life. It's this constant balancing act, choosing discipline over distraction, choosing to show up for yourself even when it's hard. Those small daily choices, those little battles, that's what defines the journey. The moments you don't feel like it are just as much your life as the easy moments. Try to spend them in a way that makes future you proud. So bottom line, celebrating your wins isn't about being arrogant or self-centered. It's really about self-respect. It's constantly acknowledging the effort, the grit, the progress, and it builds this incredibly strong foundation for more growth, more confidence, more motivation. It's a mindset shift, totally free, available to every single one of us, and it has a huge impact on how you feel and what you achieve.
Wow. Okay, that really brings it all together. And that wraps up our deep dive into the truly transformative power of celebrating your wins. So as you're listening, reflect on your own journey. Maybe just today. What's one small victory, maybe one you almost just glossed over, that you can consciously choose to celebrate right now? Perhaps you'll start that achievement journal we talked about, or maybe just text a friend and share something you're proud of. Remember, when you choose yourself, when you acknowledge your own progress, the world really does tend to celebrate with you.